Hey, thanks again for tuning in to True Stories from a Real Private Eye. Just want to give you a heads up. This week, Lynn's talking about a workers' comp case, and the injury in that case is kind of gruesome, and he gets really graphic about it. So if you think that might disturb you, you might want to skip this episode. Either way, thanks again for choosing this podcast.
And they kept denying the case based on the grounds that he did not work for the county, that he worked for a contractor. But the contractor was the one who had the workman's comp. And they're saying, well, but this was a county job, so he didn't work for the county, so we don't have to pay for it.
That's ridiculous. And welcome back to another episode of True Stories from a Real Private Eye. I'm your host, Vinnie Coppola. With me, as always, is Lynn Lambdin, a real private investigator right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Thank you so much for being here, each and every one of you. We do so appreciate it. And we got another great one for you this week. Lynn, what do you got for us?
Well, Vinny, how you doing this week, my friend?
I'm doing good, buddy. Doing good.
In the immortal words of a dear friend of ours, how the hell are you?
Well, if we're going with the immortal words of Mr. Gregory, then I'll have to answer with, Lynn, I'm barely hanging on. He'd always say that. I'm tired. You ever been tired?
Yeah, barely hanging on. Yeah,
I'm barely hanging on.
Yeah. So, well, Vinny, this week I've been thinking about insurance a lot because I work a lot in the insurance arena. And
we talked about insurance last week. Insurance is a very, very popular subject here on the old podcast.
Yeah, this case happened about, 14, 15, 16 years ago. This was a workman's comp case.
Okay.
This was a good old boy from Athens, Georgia. And he worked for, he didn't work for Clark County, but he worked for one of the surrounding counties up there. And I don't remember what county it was. Oglethorpe.
Is Athens in Clark?
Athens is in Clark County, but I think he worked in Oglethorpe County.
Is it Athens where the Bulldogs are?
Exactly. Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Athens, Clark County, yeah.
Bulldogs, okay.
Yeah, but this was in Oglethorpe County, the next county over.
Okay.
And I'm pretty sure it was Oglethorpe County. It was the next county over, wasn't Clark, but it was the county that touches Clark. I think it was Oglethorpe.
Okay.
But he didn't actually work for the county. He worked for a contractor for the county. And they were cleaning, what they did was they cleaned the side of the road. They kept the power lines clean so that the trees didn't grow up in the power lines, and they kept the ditches clean. And they were on the side of a hill, and they had a brush blade on their, there was two of them working, and they had brush blades on their weed eaters. You know what a brush blade is? The brush blade is it's a four-pronged metal blade, and it's just a four-pronged metal blade. It's not a strand. It's a solid metal plate, but it's got four prongs that sticks out that just cuts down trees, small trees, 2 inches in diameter, cut down big stalks of weeds and stuff.
It's a handheld weapon?
It's a handheld weapon.
Is it anything like a sling blade?
Well, it's a lot more powerful than a sling blade.
Okay.
So it's on the end of a weed eater.
Okay. Oh, so, I gotcha. Okay.
So instead of it being a string, a nylon string that comes out there, it's a round plate about 6 inches. And instead of it being a saw blade, it's got four prongs that sticks out.
I'm visualizing. I've seen this before. Yeah.
Yeah. So they were two guys working, and they were working kind of at an angle of each other. And our client was in front, and the guy behind swings his brush blade and cuts the back of the legs of our guy.
Oh no.
And they're down in a ravine because they're working up the hill. They're down in this ravine working up the hill to keep the stuff out of the power lines. and he cuts the main tendon in the leg that works your feet up and down on both legs. And so his feet don't work.
Oh shit.
And cuts his calf muscle. That's connected to your calf muscle.
Yeah.
And cuts both of them, Vinny, on both legs, his right and left leg.
Oh.
So this guy's down in a 40-foot ravine, working his way back up, cutting, and he got both of these arteries cut in his legs.
Oh God.
So he falls over and goes to screaming and panicking, and his buddy that cut him starts screaming and yelling, and the boss up on the top of the hill comes running down. And so they can't get him up to the top of the hill, so they call 911, and this guy's bleeding out.
Hell yeah.
I mean, he's bleeding, and they trying to get him up the hill, and the guy's feet won't move. They're just dangling.
Oh, boy. You should have warned me about this one.
Well, Vinny, I told you it was a rough one.
Yeah.
When we started, I told you it wasn't for the faint of heart.
Yeah.
But that's all I told you.
Yeah.
So when they got this, they got the ambulance there, and they got him stopped bleeding. They got him bandaged up, got him stopped bleeding. They got the life flight in, and when they got the life flight in, they got him on a stretcher, and they got him up the top of the hill, and they flew him out to the hospital in Atlanta because there was no hospitals up in Oglethorpe County that could handle it.
Yeah.
So, of course, they filed a workman's comp claim because he got hurt at work, right?
Right.
He was at work. His co-worker cut his legs.
Yeah.
Pretty simple case, right?
Right.
Well, no, workman's comp denied liability.
Why?
Well, he had a $500,000. Well, first of all, the helicopter flight was something like $60,000 to fly him from Oglethorpe County to Fulton County Hospital in Atlanta. And then he had something like an $800,000 medical bill at Grady, because he was only at Grady for a few days, not very many days. He was there, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks. And he had like a $900,000 Grady bill.
And because it was at Grady, which is a taxpayer subsidized hospital, workman's comp or the insurance company probably said, hey, we don't got to pay for that. It's already paid for by the taxpayer, right?
No, they just denied. They said that they wasn't responsible, that it wasn't a workman's comp.
Do you think that had anything to do with it? But it was because he was taken to a taxpayer funded hospital that they probably figured, well, why are we paying for it?
Vinny, I don't know. I don't know. They just
either way, it's ridiculous that they're denying the claim. I'm just wondering. Yeah.
Well, it gets better.
Oh, okay, God.
It gets better.
All right, let me strap in. Yeah.
So they denied liability. They just said, no, we're denying liability, and we're not going to pay for the hospital bills. We're not going to pay for his workman's comp, because if you can't go to work, they're supposed to pay 66%. In the state of Georgia, they pay 66% of your weekly salary up to $500. At the time, it was up to $525 a week. It's more than that now, but at the time, it was up to $500 at the time.
Okay.
So that's all they had to pay, was up to $500. So they wouldn't pay his weekly benefits. They wouldn't pay his hospital bills. They wouldn't pay anything. So the guy was out of work. And you know that by them cutting both arteries in his leg, both main tendons in his legs, he couldn't work.
Right.
On his right leg, on his left leg, they reattached the tendon in his leg. And it was pretty mangled. It looked disgusting. But they got it back to working. In his right leg, it was too mangled. There wasn't enough there for them to reattach. So they had to cut his calf muscle in half and fold it down and attach it. So when you looked at the back of his right calf, he only had half a calf.
Ugh.
And you could look at it and tell what they had done. You could actually see it if you looked at his calf. When he stood up, you could look at it. But his foot, because they had to do that, when he picked his foot up, he couldn't lift his foot and it would just drag. and just flop out and just flop.
Yeah.
And they said, well, we're not going to pay for it. This is not a workman's comp case because they first went in and denied it. So here's how it works in Georgia. When you first you apply for a workman's comp hearing, and you go to the workman's comp court downtown Atlanta, Georgia. And if you win or lose there, you appeal it to the Supreme Court of the county that you got hurt in, or the county you live in, which was in Oglethorpe County, the Supreme Court of Oglethorpe County. And if you win there or lose there and you appeal it, or if the defense appeals it, then you go to the appeals court of the state of Georgia. And if you win or lose there, then you appeal to the Supreme Court of the state of Georgia. That's how you have to do it in this state. So we filed for emergency hearing, for emergency relief for this guy. We got a hearing within the first 6 months. We won at the workman's comp hearing, and they appealed. The insurance company appealed.
Right.
So we had to go to the Superior Court of Oglethorpe County. We went to the Superior Court of Oglethorpe County, and we won there, hands down, won. They appealed that.
Oh God!
Then we had
evil bastards.
Well, now we're a year and a half into the case,
and he hasn't been paid.
He hasn't been paid one dime.
He hasn't made any money.
He hasn't made any money. Now, here's the sad part, Vinny. We're a year and a half into it.
Yeah.
Now, I have to keep going out to see this guy. He had a trailer. He lived in a mobile home. And it was a pretty decent mobile home. It wasn't run down or anything. It was a pretty decent mobile home.
Yeah.
The guy had a car that was like 2 years old when he got hurt. Mm-hmm. So the guy done the right thing. He sold his car because he knew he couldn't drive. Right. And he couldn't make the car payment, so he sold his car. Right. He didn't make any money on it. He just barely broke even on the car. And so after he goes, okay, I know I'm going to win at the hearing. He said, because this is obviously a workman's comp case. And they kept denying the case based on the grounds that he did not work for the county, that he worked for a contractor. Yeah. But the contractor was the one who had the workman's comp. Right. It wasn't the county's workman's comp. It was the subcontractor's workman's comp. Right. So let's say that it's Vinnie Coppola's contracting. Vinnie Coppola's contracting was the one who was paying for the workman's comp. Right. And they're saying, well, but this was a county job, so he didn't work for the county, so we don't have to pay for it.
That's ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. And that's what everybody said. That's what the judge said. That's what everybody said.
This episode is brought to you by Simple Funding, LLC. For all of your pre-settlement funding needs, contact Simple Funding, LLC to receive your money promptly. They're a customer-centric legal funding company that provides exceptional funding solutions at affordable rates. Simple Funding covers a diverse range of cases, including car accidents, slip and falls, worker compensation, medical malpractice, wrongful death, and more. They recognize that life goes on and you need to access your funds immediately, which is why they offer clients a swift and efficient process with minimal documentation requirements. For more information, visit simplefundingllc.com or contact them directly at 678-855-6232.
And at the time, 15 years ago, this guy was making like $15, $18 an hour doing this. So he was making pretty decent money 15 years ago.
Yeah.
So he sold his car. So a year and a half into it, when we were getting ready to go to court at the Superior Court level, the guy was living in the trailer with no electricity because he couldn't pay his electricity bill. His family was giving him food because he couldn't afford to buy food. And he barely could walk. Ugh. He had to use a walker to walk because, remember, his left foot worked about 75%, and his right foot worked about 20%.
Right.
he'd just drop it and it would just flap. Now, a year and a half into it, we finally got a court date at the superior court level, and we won. And we thought, okay, great. Now they're going to pay him his benefits, because surely to God they're not going to appeal again.
Right.
Well, they appealed again. They appealed again.
Unbelievable.
So, Vinny, we went to another 2 years. So now...
2 years before another court case?
Yeah, 2 years to get into the Court of Appeals.
Ugh.
So the Court of Appeals, so we went in front of the Court of Appeals, and, I mean, it was a very quick hearing, and we won. I mean, this was like a hands down. We didn't even have to prepare. We knew we were going to win this case.
Right.
Because this guy was an employee. He filled out an application. He had interviews. He got hired. He got paychecks. He'd been working for him for like 3 years.
Yeah.
He was on the job. He was never late. He never got written up. He had drug tests periodically because they had to since he was the county contractor, they had to drug test him. He had never failed a drug test. The day that he got hurt, that they flew him to Grady, he had a drug test. He passed his drug test. I mean, everything was clean about this guy. Yeah. Nothing, no reason for them to fail, nothing. So now we're 3.5 years into this. The guy still hasn't had one paycheck, still can't work. And
power, no car.
No power. Well, he didn't need a car. He couldn't drive anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, his right foot, he couldn't, when he picked his right foot up.
Yeah.
If he would have picked his right foot up to try to put it on the brake or the gas, it wouldn't have come up because.
Yeah, he had no strength. He couldn't press.
Yeah, because of what they had to, the way they had to cut that calf and flip it down. I mean, Vinny, when you looked at it, you could see the bone on one half of his leg and the calf on the other half.
Oh boy.
So we won at the Court of Appeals, and we're thinking, okay, surely they've learned their lesson. They've lost at the workman's comp level. They lost at the Superior Court level. They've lost at the Court of Appeals level. Surely that they're just going to go ahead and accept that they can't win this.
Yeah.
Well, they appealed it.
Ugh.
So now we're thinking, well, how long now can they wait before they get it before the Supreme Court's going to hear it? Well, it was about 1.5 years before the Supreme Court heard it. So it was so we finally got it in front of the Supreme Court, and it was 5.5 years from the time he got hurt.
Unbelievable. Man
never got a paycheck, won for 5.5 years. Well, when we got it in front of the Supreme Court, guess what the Supreme Court done?
They said, well, hopefully they said, are you guys stupid? Of course, give him his money.
Yeah, they ruled in our favor.
Okay, great.
So what? So now they're out of there. There's nothing that they can do now except pay us.
Right.
So you know what they done?
What?
They come to us and they said, well, now we owe you 5.5 years of back pay. Let's negotiate.
Oh, for crying out loud.
We don't want to pay the full 5.5 years back pay. How about we only pay you 2 years back pay?
What?
Yeah.
What's that logic? Where did they coming up with that logic?
Yeah. So they only wanted to pay 2 years back pay.
They only wanted, but did what did you guys say?
Well, what the client said is take what you can get because I'm broke. I got to have something.
Yeah.
Let's just settle with them.
Yeah.
And the attorney said, hell no.
Good for him.
The attorney said, I'm better than that.
Yeah.
He said, we have fought this case too long.
Yeah.
You have suffered too much.
Yeah.
He said, not only am I going to fight for every dime of your back pay, he said, we're going after catastrophic.
Good.
Catastrophic means that they have to, if it's not catastrophic, I can't remember exactly. It's been a while since I've done a workman's comp case, but if it's catastrophic, I think 7.5 years is all that you can stay on workman's comp.
Yeah.
But if it's catastrophic, then there's a lot longer length of time that you can stay on workman's comp.
Yeah.
And the attorney said, just hang in there with me. We're going to turn this into a catastrophic case.
Yeah. Yeah.
And catastrophic means it's that has changed your life forever. You can never go back to work. And this is catastrophic.
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
So the attorney negotiated and got 4 years of his back pay and said, we're only going to negotiate the back pay.
Yeah.
We're not going to negotiate anything else. We got to get the man some money. We're going to negotiate his back pay, and then we will negotiate catastrophic, and then we'll negotiate settling the case. So he negotiated 4 years of back pay. So they ended up paying him 4 years of back pay.
Okay.
So they wrote him a lump sum check. So they got out of paying 1.5 years of back pay.
Okay.
So they negotiated and paid 4 years of back pay instead of 5.5 years. They paid 4 years of back pay.
Okay.
Which, okay. I mean, the guy was happy with it because they only wanted to pay 2.
Right. Yeah.
And the attorney said, but still, it's still a loss.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is destroyed forever.
Yeah.
He'll never walk again.
Yeah.
And he'll never walk without a walker.
And was he a young dude, single guy?
Oh, he was like 32 when it happened.
So a single guy, young dude.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Yep. Young, 32 years old, single. I take that back. He was single. He wasn't married, but he had a girlfriend.
Did the girlfriend stick with him?
No. No. She was gone after about the first year. She lasted about a year and she was gone. Yeah. When that power got cut off and he just, she didn't want to stick around.
Yeah.
And he stayed there. He stayed through the winters. I mean, it freezing cold in that place. And he stayed there and stuck it out. He lived right through it.
Well, whatever happened with catastrophic?
They got catastrophic.
So what does that pay?
I can't remember exactly what he got out of it, but once that they got it listed as catastrophic, the attorney had to go back to court and get a judge to rule on it, but the judge ruled it catastrophic, and because the insurance company wouldn't accept it as catastrophic,
right?
And once that they got the court to rule catastrophic, this case went on for about 8 years total.
Yeah, because they probably appealed that. Right? They appealed the catastrophic. I
think what happened was he went to the state board. The state board ruled catastrophic, and they appealed it. And he went to the superior court. The superior court upheld it, and then they stopped the appeals there.
Right. Because
they figured, we're not going to win this. Let's just stop fighting. We're not going to win this.
Yeah.
And
finally, somebody in that company was like, "Look, man, haven't we learned our lesson? Let's just
Well, I think what happened is the attorney finally just said, "Look, you can continue to pay attorney fees to fight this. I work on a contingency fee.
Yeah.
I get paid in workman's comp. You get paid 25%. He's like, I get paid 25%. And as you can see, I've won everything so far. Let's just continue.
Yeah.
I'm not stopping.
Now, wait a second. Let me ask something. Does the attorney get 25% of the 4 years back pay, or does the guy get paid 4 years back pay plus 25% for the attorney?
No, the attorney gets paid 25% of the back pay.
Oh, well. Right.
And then he gets paid 25% of anything that he collects on behalf of the client. Okay. So once that he got it listed as catastrophic, and so basically, what they will do in a workman's comp case is they will evaluate the case and they will say, okay, your case is worth, your work history is worth this. But you are projected to go back to work in this amount of time. So we will pay you this for the time you're projected to be out of work. So in a case like this, they will go, well, this is not listed catastrophic, so we only have to pay you for so many weeks. And that these weeks is like 7.5 years. So we will pay you this up to that 7.5 years. Mm. But once it becomes catastrophic, that 7.5 years goes away. So now that number that they have to pay them goes way up.
Right.
So once that he got it listed catastrophic, he got the guy a very large settlement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So at least he's probably got his power turned back on.
Yeah, he got his power turned back on.
Okay, good.
He got him he got him a 7-figure settlement.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Good.
and the guy was very smart.
Yeah.
Because the attorney referred him to a financial planner, and the guy did take the advice of the financial planner,
Uh-huh.
and the guy thought that with the advice of the financial planner that he'd be okay.
Yeah.
But still, what the guy said is he said, I'd give you all the money in the world to have my health back.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course.
It was pitiful, Vinny. I'm telling you, the guy's family would come to the house. He probably, hopefully, he doesn't listen to this podcast. But the guy's family would come to the house twice a week and empty the gallon jugs of pee because he couldn't go to the bathroom. He couldn't walk to the bathroom.
Couldn't walk to the bathroom.
Couldn't walk to the bathroom.
Oh,
And
poor guy.
and I was going to see the guy probably once every 2 weeks for the first year because it was a pretty intense case.
Yeah.
And I was going to take pictures of the progress and the what was healing and what wasn't healing and what was going on with the case and what wasn't going on because our intentions was to get it listed as catastrophic from the beginning, and catastrophic has nothing to do whether it's listed as, I mean, it has to be a workman's comp case because it can't be listed as catastrophic. It's not workman's comp, but we knew all along that we was going to get it as a workman's comp case. We just didn't realize that they were going to fight so hard.
This episode is brought to you by the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates, voted the best law firm by the American Institute of Trial Lawyers. When life hits you hard with a serious injury, don't let insurance companies hit you harder with lowball offers and endless runaround. You deserve justice. You deserve compensation. You deserve to win. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates have a high-powered legal team with a nationwide reach and the highest rating on the National Attorney Rating Service. Trial Magazine calls them one of the most influential law firms in America. They win big. Big results at trial court, appeals court, the state Supreme Court, and are recognized as award-winning litigators of the year. The Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates handle everything so you can heal. Don't face this battle alone. The aftermath of an accident is traumatic enough. Medical bills pile up, pain overwhelms, emotions run high, and that's where they step in to shoulder the legal fight while you focus on what truly matters, your recovery. They are the first law firm to offer a bigger settlement guarantee. If they can't beat the amount of your current settlement with a bigger settlement offer, your legal fees are free. Ready to win your case? Find out in one phone call if you have a case and how much your case is really worth. Call the Accident Attorneys of Monge and Associates today at 1-888-477-0597 or visit them online at becauseyouwanttowin.com.
The injury was so devastating is what made it a catastrophic case.
I think so.
Yeah.
I mean, I would hope so. You know, that yeah. I didn't know that was even a thing, catastrophic.
Yeah.
For a workman's comp case. But holy cow, learned something new again. Yeah.
Think about getting the tendons in your legs that makes your feet go up and down.
I don't want to think about it. That's horrific.
Both of them.
What a horrific injury. Oh.
Yeah.
Guy's outside working and all of a sudden he's on his back. Bleeding. Yeah. Like
with about a 60-foot incline that they've got to get you up, that they can't get you up because of your injury.
Right.
Yeah.
So if they call a helicopter to come fly you to a hospital at 60 thou, is that the thing? Wow.
Yeah.
You know when when I moved out on my own and got my own health insurance, okay, I'm 30, 31 years old, 32 years old, something like that. Living in, my apartment and when I moved to Atlanta, I had my insurance and this is very embarrassing, but I I had this pain in my side. It was awful. Lynn, I can't describe how it was. Like somebody was stabbing me with a knife over and over and over. It turns out it was a kidney stone.
Oh Lord. Oh yeah.
But I theorized. I said, I think I have a kidney stone. And I had a girlfriend over at the time, and I said, do me a favor, call 911, get me an ambulance. And an ambulance came to the apartment, and three. It was three ambulance workers knock on my door, and they go, and they go, yeah, what's going on? And I go, I think I got a kidney stone. And they just paused. They were just staring at me. You called us for a kidney stone? and I went, I thought I was going to die. I'm sorry. And they go, okay, well, do you need help getting to the stretcher? I said, no, I'll walk to the ambulance. They're like, you're going to walk to the ambulance? So I walk to the ambulance. I get in the back. They drive me to the hospital and all this stuff. And I don't know, 2-3 months later, I get this bill for like $2,500.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this? I have insurance. No. You got to pay for that car ride.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, that's expensive.
So it's very embarrassing to tell that story, but it's absolutely true. It shows you how naive I was. The first time, oh, I got insurance. I can get an ambulance. Anyway, so I didn't know. I had no idea, but that makes sense. That of course you pay for the helicopter ride to the. Yeah. But of course, a guy who just had his tendons cut in his feet isn't going to go, hey man, get me a helicopter. They call the helicopter for you.
Well, sure. This guy, I had a lot of conversations with this guy because I'd sit and talk to him when I'd go see him.
Yeah.
And I asked him. I said after I got to know him a little bit, I said, what in the hell were you thinking when you're standing there weed eating and all of a sudden you feel this come through your legs? He said, obviously it cut through you like hot butter. He said, I went down, and he said, I'm just screaming. He said, it's the most intense pain I've ever had in my life.
I bet.
And he said, I'm just paralyzed. He said, I can't. He said, all of a sudden I'm standing there, and then, you feel this intense pain come through your legs. He says, but what scared me he said, it just went weak. He said, because when it cut those tendons, I had no control. He said, I just went down.
Yeah.
He said, I had no strength. He said, it just fell out. He said, I just fell out and went down.
Yeah.
And he said, I couldn't stand. He said, I had no control over it. He said, I just hit the ground.
And you said they were on an incline. He's lucky.
Yeah, an incline because they were going up the hill.
Yeah. He's lucky that they weren't like at the top.
Yeah.
He could have tumbled down, broke his neck.
Yeah. Well, I don't know how steep it was, but it was a pretty steep incline. They couldn't get him out. They called 911 and they put him on a.
What did they do? Like while they're waiting for the ambulance, this guy's bleeding like
they're
nuts.
Panicking.
Yeah. They wrap his leg. What do they do?
Well, they were out
He's lucky he's not dead.
They were out in Oglethorpe County, which is a rural county. And it took the ambulance like 18 minutes to get there.
Oh.
And they're panicking.
Yeah.
They're panicking. I asked them, I said, what was going on while the ambulance got there? I said, because it wasn't like you were in the city. Yeah. I said, you're out in a rural county. He said, buddy, they were just panicking. He said, they were just running around panicking, screaming, panicking, trying to find something to put on my legs, just panicking. Yeah. And I said, what were you doing? He goes, I was in and out of consciousness.
Oh, shit. Yeah, of course. You're bleeding out. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't that he was bleeding out. I mean, I guess he was bleeding out, but he was
in shock.
He said he was just in so much pain and so much shock that he was just in and out of consciousness. And I said, was that also you being scared? He said, yes. He said, I was scared to death. He said, I thought that I was going to die on that hillside.
Yeah.
He said, I didn't think that I was ever going to get out of there. And so basically what happened is the road's here, the hill goes down, and they went down to the bottom of the hill, and they were coming back up the hill, working up the hill.
Yeah.
And he said it was like 60 feet to the bottom, and they were he said probably a third of the way back up the hill when it happened. And
this guy just wasn't paying attention, man. He just
Nope.
wasn't paying attention.
Working too close. And that's what I asked him. I said, why in the hell was this guy so close behind you? He said he just wasn't paying attention, said just got too close behind me.
And nothing happened to this guy. You know what I mean?
Well, he said he did get terminated.
Ooh. Ooh.
Well, yeah, but he said it wasn't
Of course, it wasn't a deliberate act.
It wasn't malicious or anything. It wasn't a deliberate act.
But there's no, negligent tendon cutting. That's not a law.
No,
Okay.
no negligent, nothing malicious about it. Just an accident.
I bet you if he wanted to pursue it, he probably has a case out of it. I mean, maybe. I mean, what do you think?
A criminal case? Nah.
Not a criminal case. Maybe a civil case.
No. Workman's comp is all you got there.
No, I'm talking about with this guy.
What do you mean?
Do you think there's any kind of civil case against this guy?
No. No. The employer, since he was at work, workman's comp is all you could pursue.
Yeah.
And so if you sued the guy personally, his work would have to cover it, so workman's comp would cover it. So workman's comp is what covered it.
You know what? I'm sorry to get morbid here, but this is just the way my brain works. When they were firing this guy for cutting this guy's tendons, I wonder if he like argued like, oh, come on, man, it was an accident. Come on, man. I mean, come on, it was just a mistake. Come on.
Well,
really? Wait. So you guys don't need me tomorrow? Well,
think about it even a step further.
What?
He's filling out an application at his next job.
Oh God, yeah. So why were you terminated? Well.
Or we're going to check out your references.
Yeah.
We'll call you tomorrow, and you can hear that phone call now. Yeah, no, we can't hire you. Why not? Because we're hiring you to run a weed eater, dude.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we need you to. Yeah. Sorry, we got a sweeping job for you. Yeah. But it's a dust. It's a dust pan. We don't want you holding anything long,
or anything with a motor on it.
Yeah, nothing with a motor either.
Yeah, no chainsaws, no electrical equipment, nothing.
Yeah. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Well, good. Well, I guess the fact that the guy got the 7-figure settlement is a bit of a happy ending.
Yeah, and the good news is you don't have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, any type of injury settlement, you do not have to pay taxes on it.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good.
So all but 25% went to him.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, just crazy. Just
nutty.
Yeah, that the insurance company would fight that hard to just.
I mean, it's on par, man. It's on par with the crap they pull, man.
It's on par. Yeah, and they probably paid as much to fight it as they did to settle it.
I guarantee it.
Yeah,
I guarantee it.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is this $7 million on the books here fighting this case, which we paid out $7 million? What is that? Who was in charge that week? Or year or whatever.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, always love it when I learn something new. Lynn learned about catastrophic, and once again, these evil insurance companies and the way they handle their business. It's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable, Vinnie. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Hey, if you need a laugh after that, come check me out online. My website is vinnie.com, www.vinnie.com. If you like stand-up comedy and goofball videos, all the links to all my social media can be found there. If you need to surveil someone, if you're looking for someone, if you need to serve someone papers, Lynn Lambdin is the best, ladies and gentlemen. Tell them your website.
www.lwi.com.
LWIAS.
LWIAS.com. LWIAS.com. Thank you, Vinnie.
You're welcome. And thank you, Simple Funding and the accident attorneys of Monge and Associates for sponsoring this episode. This was a very graphic one, a very rough one. I'm thankful that you guys stuck with us, and we thank you guys for hanging in there every week. We do so appreciate it. If you haven't yet, click the subscribe button. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week.